Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It's Alicia Hurt here, your servant leader, and I am here for the Stress Reset webinar today, a mind-body approach. So as always, we ask that you share this link. We share it with your community. We ask that you like it to support us. And if so, DM it to them. You never know who needs this information. Again, Alicia Hurt here. I am going to place in the chat our links so that way you can connect with us if you need more information or if you want to share our information with your loved ones, friends, or family. You can do so with the link below. Also, if you would like to see the replay, it will be available on YouTube. We are going to get started today. Let's do it. The stress reset. And as you can see from this photo, sis is going through it. Can anyone identify with what she is going through? That picture says a whole lot, y'all. So let's talk it through. I'm going to share this to a couple of our pages as well to spread the word. We are here on live for this class today. The stress reset. I know there are a lot of people that need this information. They need this information. Okay, here we go. So the objectives for today, we're going to understand the impact of stress on the mind and body. Uh-oh, going faster than me. We're going to learn holistic and medical approaches to managing stress. We're going to identify how we can support each other in reducing stress. And we're going to engage in practical stress relief exercises. And I know we are in virtual land, but I'm going to do my best. You know, when we do our in-person version of this, then we can definitely get interactive with the exercises together. But let's do this today. I'm going to share one more time. You guys help me out. Share this as well. Again, this is on behalf of the Women's Wellness Center, I See My Baby, located at 310 South Scott Street in Bainbridge, Georgia. ISeeMyBaby.org is the website. Phone number 229-939-3240. Okay, so first things first, we need to understand stress, what the key terms, and give some examples of it. So definition, stress is the body's natural response to a demand, a challenge, or a threat. And it activates the fight, right? The fight or flight response, releasing hormones that are like cortisol and adrenaline. And here's an example of that. Here's an example. I need to make my screen a little smaller. I can't see the example. Y'all give me 1 second here. I'm not sure what's going on. 1 second. Your thoughts. Okay, here it is. So why didn't it show? All right, so we'll try this again. Lord help Alicia Hurt, because this is some good information to share. The enemy will not win today in Jesus' name. There it is. Okay, so the example is you have an important work deadline tomorrow and your heart starts racing. Your muscles tense and your thoughts feel scattered. And that is definitely, if not all, if you have one, a sign that you are stressed, that stress is near. And I want to tell you, you don't play with it. You don't play with it at all. You have to recognize that and then take action. How do I de-stress? Another term is acute stress, which is a short-term stress response that happens suddenly and goes away quickly. It helps you react to immediate challenges. An example of acute stress is a car suddenly swerving in front of you, your heart starts to race, and you swerve to avoid an accident. And some people even say some words. And that is definitely a sign of the acute stress. Also, giving a presentation. You may feel nervous before speaking, but calm down afterwards, meaning your palms start to sweat, you start to get agitated, frustrated, uneasy, armpits start to sweat. Those are some examples of acute stress. The last example would be running late for an appointment. You rush to get ready, but feel relieved once you arrive. Okay, chronic stress. Chronic stress. This is something that's a long term. It's an ongoing stressor that doesn't go away easily. It can negatively affect your health over time. Some examples of it would be financial struggles. Yes, it definitely causes chronic stress. And what does it look like, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. Worrying each month about paying rent or bills. I'm sure a lot of us can say, yep, I got that chronic stress. Toxic work environments where you're constantly feeling pressured, undervalued, or even overworked. And then caregiving stress, taking care of a sick family member without enough support. That is a form of chronic stress. And again, chronic stress can lead to serious health issues like high blood pressure, anxiety, and even not being able to sleep. So we want to understand these stress. We want to understand these terms and the examples again. Because if you're going through any of these, I need you to listen in. I need you to lean in, listen in, so that we can help you, give you some coping mechanisms, or even get you on a program at our wellness center. Positive stress, right? Eustress. Stress that motivates and helps improve performance. Did you know that? It could be positive and it's beneficial in short bursts. So not long bursts, but just short bursts. So an example would be preparing for a big event. You get excited, right? The excitement pushes you to do your best. Or even starting a new job. You remember that feeling where you feel nervous, but you're also motivated to learn and to succeed? Training for a marathon. You feel that that challenge will help you to grow stronger. That's a positive stress, and it helps with resilience and personal growth. So now we're going on to the negative stress. We're going on to the negative stress side with this is a distress. Stress that overwhelms and causes emotional or physical harm. These are not good. These are not good. So let's give you some examples of it. The constant work deadlines without breaks. That leads to burnout. I can raise my hand and tell y'all that's not good. I've gone through it. Also, having a painful breakup. Anyone going through a painful breakup, you know the feeling that you have. It's negative stress. Or if you have lost a loved one, it causes deep sadness and emotional exhaustion. Feeling unsafe in your environment, that's a good one. That is a negative stress, and it triggers anxiety and fear. And you will see this even in children if they feel unsafe. This chronic distress weakens the immune system and it increases the risk of diseases. So you get sick. You get sick come from this stress, from these things. You get sick. You like, I don't know what's going on with me. I just don't feel good. And it's because you're in distress. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I know you guys are like, there's more, Alicia. Yeah, there are more, because we need to really talk through it so you can understand. Now, I want to also give you the precursor. I am not a medical professional. I do not have a license as a doctor. I am sharing general information. We definitely can help you on the mental health perspective. We have practitioners, life coaches that can support you with it, but I am not an MD. I am not a doctor. All right, glad I got that out the way. So number 6, this one, we talked about fight or flight, but I want you all to understand more and more what fight or flight response looks like and the definition of it. So the definition is that the body automatically reacts to a threat and preparing to either fight the danger or escape from the danger. So there's the fight part and then the flight part. Fighting, which is I'm going to handle it, I'm going to fight the danger, or I'm going to escape from it. And here are some examples. Someone unexpectedly yells at you, and your heart starts to pound, and you feel ready to defend yourself. Hearing a loud noise at night, you freeze, and you prepare to run. Or being chased by a dog, your body releases, what is it? Your body releases adrenaline to help you run faster. Now, I don't know, because I don't really like to run. So I don't know. I might have to defend myself in another way against that dog. But that is the fight or flight response. And then we go to the cortisol, the stress hormone. And that one is released by your hormones, and it comes out of your glands during stress, and it increases alertness, but can harm the body when constantly elevated. So it's kind of a good thing, but then it's not, especially if it continues to reoccur. You have trouble sleeping, you gain weight, especially around the belly. You have high blood pressure, you have mood swings. And then when it releases, when that cortisol releases, you start to feel overwhelmed at work for weeks. That's an example. You might gain weight or feel exhausted. You may have constant arguments with a partner. You feel tense and get frequent headaches. So reducing this stress can help lower the cortisol and prevent long-term health problems. I don't know if you guys have hearing a running theme. Stress can kill. Stress can cause disease, heartache, depression, some really, really bad stuff. And so we got to really get a handle on it. We do. And in the environment we are in now, as you can see in this picture up here, they're mind blown. It's just a lot. Just high. We're on high alert. We're all stressed in some shape, some form, some fashion, but we still have to show up. We have to show up for ourselves. We have to show up for our families. We have to show up for our employees. We have to show up for our employers. We have to show up for our community. There's a lot of stress. So I know you're like, okay, Alicia, you done told us all the bad stuff, what we going through. So how you going to help us? Well, there are holistic ways to manage your stress. I promise you, there are ways to manage your stress. So we did do some breathing work yesterday, and that is on YouTube. And it is Lamaze, it is for pregnancy. However, it can be used to de-stress. So I put the links there in the chat. You can go back and watch that video on examples of different breathing techniques. So that's definitely one way to manage stress. The breath work, also meditation. As you can see, this young lady in the picture, she is grounding herself. She is listening to her heartbeat. She is breathing and getting herself together. She is on the ground, not in her bed, on the ground. She's like, I got to get myself together. Legs crossed, and she is really meditating. You have to have a conscious breathing and mindful exercise that helps to calm the nervous system. If you're at work, you can do this as well. It only takes a moment of your time. Mindfulness, really and truly, to say, all right, there's a lot of things going around, but I need to center myself. I need to get back into control. And so here's an example. You're going to do 4, 7, 8 breathing. What does that look like? You're going to inhale for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to hold for 7. And then you're going to exhale for 8. So let's do that again. Inhale for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to hold your breath for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you're going to exhale for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that really helps to relieve your anxiety. They have another breathing technique, which is called the box breathing. So this one, you inhale for 4, you hold for 4, then you exhale for 4, and then you hold for 4. So let's practice this together. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And the last one we're going to talk through is the body scan meditation. And so mentally, in your mind, you're checking in with each part of your body to release tension. So looking at this picture on the screen, put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, drown out the noise, and start to check in. I'm checking in on my mind. I'm checking in on my shoulders. I'm checking in on my neck. I'm checking in on my arms. I'm checking in on my hands. I'm checking in on my heart. I'm checking in on my stomach. I'm checking in on my legs. I'm checking in on my knees. I'm checking in on my feet. All aligned. Open your eyes. And you can combine it with your breathing technique. So as you're doing your body scan, for instance, you can do the box breathing. So as I'm checking in on all my parts of my body, I'm closing my eyes. You can either have your hands down, have your hands on your heart, similar to this picture, and you start to breathe. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. And as you're doing it, you're checking in. You're checking in and you're breathing, you're aligning yourself. And I am sure after that, you will feel much better and be more centered. You can also do the movement and the exercise, where your physical activity can help release stress hormones and improve your mood by increasing the endorphins, the feel-good hormones. So some examples would be stretching, yoga, which eases the tension in your muscles caused by stress. And we actually offer this in person on Mondays at 6 p.m. by our instructor, Tiffany Austin. Shout out to Fertile Ground Family Services for providing this class. Dancing, we have West African dance. That's another way. We do that once a month on Saturdays at 11 a.m. And dancing helps to release your emotions, your pent-up emotions, and they uplift your spirits. They make you feel better. Make you feel better. Walking in nature. Ooh, I don't know, because out here the gnats are out. But if you're an outdoors person, this is for you because it helps to reduce mental fatigue and it promotes relaxation. Then the last one would be virtual activities. Okay, virtual activities. So it guides participants through a simple seated stretch or a shoulder roll exercise. And I do know a few reputable organizations that provide this. Shout out to Mr. Jenkins out there in DC. He provides virtual training sessions. And there's another young lady. So if you need a reference, just let me know and I can share their information. And if you are providing that service, please put your information in the chat so that way everyone will see it. Herbal and nutritional support. So certain herbs and foods can help balance your stress hormones naturally. And one, I always talk about is that yoni steaming. That definitely helps. But we have a list here for your reading pleasures because I don't want to butcher these words, but they have a lot of different herbs on here. Some that I use, like the chamomile, the lemon balm. They also talk about the foods that you can eat, like the dark leafy greens. And because it gives you that magnesium, they have the omega-3 rich foods on here. Salmon, I love salmon, long as it's real. Flax seeds for your brain. Yes, I used to do that, and I used to put that in my smoothies. I need to get back to that. All of these things will help you holistically to manage your stress. And you can pause this. You can take a screenshot again. The replay will be available on YouTube. Okay, so there are medical approaches to stress management. And again, this is public information. I'm not a doctor, but if you feel like you want to pair up your holistic approach with medical approaches, here are some just suggestions for you. As I always recommend, is Jesus and therapy. Let's go. Therapy and counseling. So talking to a licensed professional about stress and mental health struggles. The type of therapy could be the CBT, the cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps reframe negative thoughts. And then talk therapy. It provides emotional support and guidance. And mindful-based therapy, which teaches relaxation techniques. You also have medication and medical treatments, and there are some that need this. In some cases, doctors may recommend a medicine to help manage your chronic stress, your anxiety, or related health issues. And here are some prescriptions here. But again, remember, you need to talk to a medical professional. You don't want to self-diagnose and say, I need this type of medicine over that type of medicine. These are just examples. These are just examples. So anti-anxieties, the antidepressants, or even the sleep aids. You want to talk to your medical professional, especially if you're on other medications, because you don't want them to counteract and give you a negative result. All right, so you may be asking how we can support each other. Well, I'm going to tell you, you can recognize the stress in others because there are signs, there are telltale signs. So in the beginning, we went through all of the different types of stress, but we also can identify them in others, and not in a judgmental way. Not saying, girl, you need to see. No. If you're a good friend, you may see, you say, you know what, Alicia, you've been tired lately and been complaining about your headaches, or you even been getting sick a lot. Maybe you want to check that out. Maybe you're more stressed than you think you are. If they have emotional concerns, maybe they're more irritable than they normally are. They're more sad, or they're withdrawing from you. Maybe their behavior has changed. They're overeating. It's like, and that's a sign for me. It's like, why are you eating them snacks? What's going on with you? What are you stressed about? Avoiding responsibilities, or if you're having sleep issues and you're like, I can't sleep, I'm just there scrolling, just scrolling. And that's not normal for you. You may be stressed. Here are some more examples. A friend cancels plans often and seems distant. And you're like, that's not you. What's going on? A coworker snaps at others more than usual. I like how it said more than usual. It just depends on the person. A family member complains about stomach issues and exhaustion. That could be a sign of stress. So here's some practical support strategies and ways to help. So again, listen without judgment. Remember, I say no judgments, no judgments. Offer to help with small tasks, maybe making meals, running errands, anything that you can think of that you're like, you know what, I can help with these things to kind of help ease their stress. Maybe they need a babysitter. They got a whole bunch of kids. Can I raise my hand? But you can be that good friend and support them. Encourage self-care. Invite them to walk with you or share some stress relief tips. Say, come on and go to the wellness center with me, and let's do some yoni steaming together. We had 2 friends come out yesterday. They had a ball in the steam room. You hear me? And that was their way of de-stressing and supporting one another. Checking in regularly, a simple way. How are you really feeling? And you got to add the really, because we're all guilty of saying, oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm blessed. And it's like, no, how are you really? Like, tell me. I really want to know. Sometimes you just say it just to say it, because that's the thing you say. But when you add the really, they're saying, oh no, like she genuinely wants to know, because it can mean a lot. Like, oh my God, they care. They're really going to listen to me. And you can help someone get through their stress that way. Because sometimes they just need to talk. I know for me, sometimes I just need to talk. I just need to get it out. I need to talk. And I'll be like, all right, I'm good now. I can go forth. Okay, so let's talk through a couple case studies. Oh, no, 3 of them on here. Okay, let's do it. We're not going to stay long. The overwhelmed professional. So this one is based on chronic stress. So the background is Lisa is 38 years old. She's a project manager and she's juggling tight deadlines. And she has long work hours and family responsibilities. So her stress response is that she experiences frequent headaches. She has difficulty sleeping and she has persistent fatigue. So what is the impact on her? Well, over time, her immune system starts to weaken and it leads to frequent colds. Lisa's always sick. She has problem digesting things and she goes through burnout. So what is Lisa's solution? Well, she sets boundaries at work. These are the things she's going to do. These are non-negotiables. She prioritizes self-care and she seeks support from a stress management coach at the Women's Wellness Center. Yes, Lisa, come on for the coaching, girl. I want to go back to those boundaries. Boundaries are not a bad thing. They're really good. In the beginning, in my professional work in corporations, I remember I had a staff member that she said after 6, my phone is on do not disturb. I'm like, girl, we work. What are you talking about? But then as I started to get more responsibilities, having kids, then I understood that boundary. If it's not an emergency, it can wait until the next business day. So you need to set your boundaries or it's going to stress you out. Case study number 2, the unexpected emergency, acute stress. Marcus, he's 45 years old. He's a father and is driving when a car suddenly swerves into his lane. Ooh. So his response would be that his heart starts to pound, his hands tighten on the wheel, and he instinctively swerves to avoid the crash. And now here's the impact. So once he's safe, his body gradually calms down like, OMG, what in the world? But he starts to feel shaky for a few minutes because he's like, what in the world just happened? Man, it could have gone worse than that. Oh my goodness. Well, here's the solution for Marcus. He needs to practice deep breathing techniques and mindfulness to help regulate his nervous system after a high stress moment. So this technique would be quick because he's in the car, he's still driving. Of course, he won't close his eyes. He can't take his hands off the wheel, but he can practice those deep breathing. So he can inhale for 4, exhale for 4, or hold for 4, then inhale for 4, and then exhale for 4. He can do that box breathing to get himself grounded and back to his regular state of mind. The last case study is the student under pressure. Okay, here we go. They're going through the acute stress. So Aaliyah is 22 years old. She's a college student. That's stress in itself. She often procrastinates, so she's adding stress, and it's leading to last-minute all-nighters before an exam, so she's not getting her rest. And her response is she's having stomach pains, racing thoughts, and an inability to focus. And the impact would be the cycle repeats frequently, and it's affecting her academic performance. Her grades are struggling, and her mental health and well-being is poor. So what does Aaliyah need to do? Well, her solution would be she needs some structure. She needs to have structure in her study schedule. She needs to incorporate relaxation techniques, and she needs to talk to a counselor. She can talk to someone right at the Women's Wellness Center, and we will help you get your life together, Aaliyah. We are here to support you, honey. The power of talking to someone. Many people try to manage stress alone, but support can make all the difference. Talking to someone, whether it's a trusted friend, a mentor, or a professional, can help. And when we talk about a trusted friend, it has to be someone that will give sound advice and someone that has your best. It has best intentions for you and that is not trying to see you suffer. So you got to think about that when you think about a friend, a trusted friend, because they'll provide a fresh perspective on your challenges. They'll give you practical coping strategies and emotional relief and validation. Now, at the Women's Wellness Center, as you can see in this picture, I am talking to a client. We have one-on-one stress management support. We have group discussions and wellness workshops, and we also have resources to help you build resilience. So in conclusion, here are the key takeaways. Stress is definitely normal. It is normal. We're going to have some level of stress, but it must be managed to prevent long-term effects. There are holistic methods, as we discussed. We have breath work, we have movements, we have herbs, and there are medical supports that both play a role. And we can support each other by listening, checking in, and encouraging self-care. So the call to action today that we challenge you to do at I See My Baby is to try at least one new stress management technique this week. So whether it's the exercise and the mindfulness, the breath work, or the herbal self-care remedies, try them. Try at least one. Eating the leafy greens or the omega-3s. Try at least one technique this week to support you on your journey. And please stay connected with us. You can stop by 310 South Scott Street in Bainbridge, Georgia. You can give us a call, 229-939-3240. You can even email us at info@iseemybaby.com. We are here. We are here to stand beside you. And when you're facing your tough challenges, we are here to support you. We offer counseling, therapy, support, safe spaces. We do massage therapy and body work. We have wellness programs and classes. We also have retreats for those expecting. We have those doula services and online resources on our website. We also have the yoni steaming, which is safe to do once a week or for general maintenance once a month. I thank you all for your listening ear. You guys know I love y'all. If you have any questions or concerns, you definitely know how to reach us. Have a wonderful day on purpose.